Good afternoon, everyone. Let me say welcome to you all to this session. So I know you're having exams because so we're gonna share some few tips with you that we can use in accessing the resources and enhance those study tips that getting where you need to be for exam. Okay, so examination, search tips, and techniques. So, master and UWILINC navigation and search strategies in excel in your first year experience. Okay. All right, so the learning objective for today is to look at navigating UWILINC, mastering the platform, interface, and signing process. We look at how we can go about finding past papers, search efficiently using the course code and title. We're going to look at tips such as phrase searching by using double quotation marks for precise results, citation tracking, trace research evolution and impact. Truncation is another technique that we're going to be looking at, which broadens the search and you can use wildcards as well. So, are you ready for your exam? Effective navigation on UWILINC is your key to accessing the resources you need for exam success. All right? So, one of the first things you need to do when you're accessing UWILINC, especially if you're accessing UWILINC from off the campus, what you need to do, you need to first sign in, right? So you need to use your UWI credential, your ID number, and your password that you use to log into the VLE platform. So there are benefits to using UWILINC, especially when you sign in. So you gain entry to a plethora of resources, both online and databases and physical materials in the lab. All right, so importance of examination past paper. So examination preparation, you need to know what the topics are that you're going to be preparing for exam. Familiarize yourself with the exam format and topic. Practice time management, and this overlaps with what the previous presenter looked at. Some of them will overlap. You have to practice time management. What you can do, as we said, do like a run, a simulation, get your past papers, practice them, assign time to each question. Okay, so that's time management. Identify and fill knowledge gaps. In terms of filling the knowledge gaps, based on what you have looked at for the past papers, there might be some areas that you see there that were on your course outline, but it might just be helpful. So you're filling in certain gaps right there. Build confidence, reduce anxiety. When you're confident and know what you're about, when you know what you're about, that will reduce the anxiety and the fear and the jitters that you have. Improve speed and accuracy. So as I said before, when you're practicing a lot different times, different questions, as the previous presenter said, right? So that way you can increase on what you are doing, the accuracy of it and the speed. Understand and apply different concepts. Be familiar with concepts that are within the course that you're doing. All right. So this is a little I did a search and there's a 6 past paper framework every student should know. I don't know if we have time to go through this was short. It's about 4 minutes. So let's see if we can open that.
There are 2 methods you can use to take a look at past papers: time and price. Reading the entire paper under the time to allow for the exam, and then you check the paper. I recommend this if you want to work on the timing or want to pretend you're actually in the exam. Practice is where you answer each question and check the answer as you go through the paper, regardless of the method that you use. Speaking through the following framework, method. Framework can be broken down into 6 steps. Personally, I found that step 5 had the most significant impact on my grades. However, many students tend to focus only on the first 2 different steps. Skipping the last 3 can really limit your potential for improvement. By committing to all 6 steps, you'll unlock the full power of this framework and see improvement in your grades. The first 2 steps are to look at the question and attempt it. Look out for the keywords like describe and explain. Non-essay subjects, remember you can use bullet points. This is a quick get it right and check over, and it's easier to see if you've written enough points. If the question is 3 marks, then like 3 bullet points. Importantly, it will be easier for the examiner to read it and give you the marks. And here's the bonus tip. If you don't understand what the question is asking, don't hesitate to skip it and come back to it later. I did this many times during my exams, and it allowed me to avoid wasting time trying to break down a difficult question. There may be other questions later in the paper that you find easier to answer. By tackling those first, you'll have a clearer picture of how much time you have left to go back with those questions. After these initial steps, many students tend to stray away from the framework. Although step 5 was the most useful for me, step 3 was probably the next best, which is using the mark scheme. The mistake most students make is simply looking at the answer and moving on, which prevents them from understanding where they went wrong. Remember, past papers are not just about testing knowledge. They are also a fantastic resource for learning and improving your understanding of the subject. Take a moment to compare your response with the mark scheme and reflect on any differences. This will help you identify areas for improvement. Anything that is underlined, you need to have that to get a mark. Also have a look at the comments on the side. When marking yourself, be honest, as that is the only way you will see where you actually are. It is important to understand why the answer is correct because it helps you learn what the examiners are looking for. And you can learn how to answer the question the similar one comes up on your exam. And when I say you should understand the answer, I mean you should be thinking, what do I get for marks now? For this question, if I saw it on the exam, I felt like this every time because if I couldn't even improve from where I went wrong, then what's the point of me doing this? If you do not understand why the answer is correct, this is where step 4 comes in. When the mock scheme didn't make sense to me, I found it helpful to watch classic walkthrough on YouTube. These videos can provide valuable insights and explanations. If watching videos doesn't clarify anything, don't hesitate to ask for teachers to help. And you can ask your teacher for more questions on the topic of that question. And the little message from me here is that you should not get worried or feel like you are dumb if you're getting a lot of these questions wrong. It's just part of the process. Failure leads to more growth. When I would get a bit angry about getting questions wrong, I would play music, take a break, and remind myself why I want good grades in the first place. That helped me to reset and focus again. As I said, as we go through this framework, the more benefit you will get from it. And step 5 is what made the most difference to me. If you get a question wrong and you have then understood the mark scheme, make a note of it. Or if you have made any notes or revision material, correct any information that might be incorrect or add new information that you have learned from answering this question. I did this every time I did get full marks for a question within a past paper. I would make corrections in the notes that I made. Why this helps is because it solidifies your understanding and prepares you to answer future questions. You can also make a note of what topic the question is on, so you can do further revision on it or practice questions specific to that topic to improve your understanding for the exam. Remember, although this is sort of like a test, you should be using it for learning more than anything. Learn from your mistakes, don't ignore them, because only then will you improve. The final step of this framework isn't where you do with past papers. You probably have topic tests after learning a specific concept in your lessons. I want you to repeat this framework when you get that topic test back. Go through it, understand why you went wrong and why the answer is correct. Ask your teachers if you do not understand the answer and make a note of where you went wrong. I did this on a separate piece of paper and I would read this and make diagrams on this before any big exam so I don't repeat the same mistakes. But the final step of this framework isn't where you do with past papers. Which role to my studying methods than just past papers? I can prove how I studied to get 4 A stars during my A levels in this video here.
Thank you. So I believe that we can absolutely contribute to six-step pathway framework for every student. So Francis can search YouTube for that title, and you can take the time and watch that video and follow those simple steps that we have shared with you, so you can take that exam. All right. So I mentioned earlier, identify the knowledge. Yeah. So solving past paper as a diagnostic tool By reviewing your answers, you can pinpoint which subject or concept you need to study further. I also mentioned building confidence. So repeated practice can reduce anxiety on exam day. Because we become more comfortable with the material and the testing format when you look at past paper. Learn to apply the concepts. So external exams test your ability to apply what you have learned. Okay? Not just memorize it. Past papers force you to practice using your knowledge in an exam setting, in the environment. Top recurring topic. So working through multiple papers can analyze which topic or question type will appear frequently. Allowing you to focus your revision on the most important areas. Develop and refine answering techniques. So you can practice answering questions in a specific way that the examiner is looking for. And this, when you do this, you are improving your overall performance and build on the grades that you will get. All right, so finding the past paper, I want to go to UWILINC. I'm not sure, can access the link on here. So I want to do a few activities in finding past paper. And finding past paper, you use the course code or the course title. All right. What I must also say is that we don't have all the past papers in UWILINC. We can only upload what we get. So if we get past papers from students, we'll scan them and upload them. We will request from the department, but sometimes you get and sometimes you won't. So we can only upload what we have. All right. So we're going to do a few exercises using UWILINC. All right, so if you know how to sign into UWILINC, you go to UWILINC. So you enter your ID number. All right, so go to the UWI Mona Campus page. And on the right, you'll see UWILINC. You're going to click on UWILINC. All right, and here we have best student approaching. That's one of the flyer one that we have. All right, so we're gonna click on UWILINC. So you must sign into UWILINC, especially if you're trying to access it from home. Because if you are not on the campus, you need to log in. Okay, it's a little slow. All right. So here we are, and here you must get here. So click on sign in blank here. All right, so when this comes up, this is where you enter your ID number and your password. So I'm gonna sign in. And I want you to do the exercise with me also. I'm signing in my ID number and I use the password. And I want you to do it with me also. And this will be required, especially if you're trying to access from. All right. So I don't want to save long. So here you are, you know you have signed in your name up there in the upper right hand corner. You can scan the QR code if you would like, and this is where you save your favorite. So I'm gonna do, you can use the course code and course type to search for past papers. So I'm gonna search for. What you can do a course that you're studying and you do the course code. The example I'm gonna use is for econ. So econ and then the course code is 1012. Econ 1012. All right, so I'm gonna hit search. All right, so there we have a past paper and the title, and it says you can access online. Okay, so here we are. We have from May 2012. Oh, I think I went too fast. All right, May 2012 and up to December 2019. So for this past paper, we don't have anything earlier than 2019. So if this is what you see there, this is what we have. So you can click on one that is of interest to you, and you have access to, you have the information, it's July 2019. No, this says examination of December, it has the X in the box. You have the title, the hours, right? And then you're gonna go down to, it starts with definition, question 1, question 2. And if you have a past paper, you can set some time for yourself and go through this question as a practice, right? Okay. And you can do that for other courses also, all right? So let's go back. So this is how you would find the past paper, right? Using the course code, okay? Can we try another one? Let's see if I have another one. Okay, okay. You don't see all the numbers, you just have management. Management, MGM was the one. Management. NGMT. Right, NGMT. Oh, 1012. Okay. Not what we're saying now. It's a vague number. 1012. Oh. Let's see what we get for that. Oh, said no reference form. Remember I said we don't have all the past papers. So. You found it? Are you doing the exercise online, guys? You can search for your course. Don't forget okay, she said it was NGMT for 2012. Okay, let's try that again. All right, so here we are. We have success, so we will click on that. All right, so okay, we have quite a lot of past paper for this management course. So we have from 2008, go straight up to 2024. So you can access this past paper and go through and have a simulation run of practicing each question a lot of various times. And as the previous presenter said, the question with the most mark, you a lot more time to completing that question. Right? All right, so what I can also say, you can also use the title. So if you don't know the code, you can also use the title to find the exam. So it's a advertising example. All right, the most important, you should know your course code and makes it that much easier. All right. So I'm gonna go back to the PowerPoint presentation and content. All right, so the next topic that we look at is we would have fasting. So we're gonna look at phrase search with quotation marks. So this is a search technique that you can use to refine your search. Anybody wants to I was trying to say, why don't we use quotation mark around your phrase search? What do you think happened when you do your phrase search? And it's more accurate because it's more search. You're going to consistent. It's more specific, it's precise, and what it does, it keeps the terms together. Alright? So use your quotation mark around phrases, your phrase search to refine your search and keep the terms together within the context of your topic. Why I say that is because if you don't use the quotation mark and it's a double quotation mark, what you have the resources wherever you find the word. From that phrase, you will pull in everything. So what you get a plethora of results that they are not relevant to your topic. So keeping the phrase together by using the quotation mark. It's referring to the context of which you are searching. So keep the words together. Ensure the phrase is searched as one unit and not different words. Okay? And maintain the specific technical team term intact. Alright? So these are just a few phrase search, climate change. So you want it within the context. Social media, prompt engineering. So you place the quotation mark around the term. Okay? Got any question online?
Not yet.
Oh. Alright, so we're gonna look at citation tracking. Anybody can say what I understand from citation tracking? Anybody? Can they open their mic and participate? Citation tracking. So citation tracking analyzes the following moral citation to measure the impact. Find related research, which is what we are more interested in today. To find related search and trace the evolution of ideas. So we don't have any takeoff for citation tracking, just a basic understanding of it. Okay, so as I said, citation tracking. What it does, there are different kinds of tracking. Forward tracking, it identifies works that cite original article. Alright, so you can do forward citation tracking. So you start with a specific article and find newer works that cite that article. Alright, this helps you to see how an idea has been developed or applied by others since the original publication of that article. You also have backward tracking. So what this does is follow the reference listed within an article. So you start with a specific article and look at its bibliography or references to find earlier one. Foundational work on that topic that are relevant to the original research. We also have impact analysis, which measures scholarly influence and research. So what we do is we look at metrics of an article. Alright? So citation tracking, we use in an article resources to find other resources on the topic. Right, so it expands your search. Alright. Alright, there are benefits and tools for citation tracking. So the benefits of citation tracking is that you can discover related research in your field. Alright, because you're using one citation, you're using an article and you're looking at those citations, and you can discover other research in this area. Identify influential works and authors, right? So you find if other authors was written on the topic. These are experts in the field. You also trace the evolution of ideas over time. You also build comprehensive literature review. And you find in other resources on the same topic. So you build it, all right? So some common tools that you can use for citation tracking, you have Google Scholar, and everybody can help you. All right, and a plethora of resources. Web of Science is a science database, and you can also, they have a lot of metrics in there, citation track, right? An article cited, article that cite resources and resources that cite article. Alright? You have PubMed, which is, medical resources, the site finder that you can also use, and source reference. Alright? Okay, so another search sheet that we can use is finding resources via UWILINC, truncation, and using wildcard. Understand truncation? Yeah? Alright, so truncation goes into research to include various word endings and spelling using special symbols and characters. Alright, have you ever used it before? No? Alright, so what truncation does is identify the root word. Alright, the example here is employ. So for where the root of the word is, that's where you place the wild card. Right, and there are various wild cards that you can use. Alright, so where the root word is, you place your symbol there. They add the truncation symbol, and the asterisk is the most common character that is used. So the example there, after place the the root of the word, you can use like employer, employee, employees. So be mindful of the variation that we use. Example, can't, you might find cancer and candle, which you have one day words. So use and give you the example, Canada for Canada and Canada. You have to be careful where you're placing the symbol. Check database rules. Look for templates on the database interface, and these are some comments about that different databases. They use asterisk, they use the question mark, they use the hashtag, they use the dollar sign.
Mrs. Tyrell, we have a question.
Okay?
What do I do if the past paper list appears, but none of the papers will load?
Oh dear. Okay. I don't know what to say about that. Probably you can contact the library, because we're the ones who upload them. You can let us know that the past is a specific past paper and it's not loading. Then we'll have to look into it. Okay? Alright. So as I said before, check the database rules and give you another direct what character they are using. So the question mark can represent the same character. And in this case, you place it in the middle of the word, where it means the spelling of the word is changed. It could be woman or it could be woman. Alright, so be careful where you place your truncation. So master your search strategy. Alright. So navigate confidently. Silently, I think that's a subject. That's a wrap up. But I want to look more at truncation. A few more examples. Alright, so I think I have it all. I'm checking the specification. Alright. So in mastering search strategy, to help you access the resources so you can navigate UWILINC more proficiently. Sign it UWILINC and access comprehensive resources. Search precise, as I mentioned, quotation marks in the code and so track citation. Alright. So thank you for your attention, but I really want to go back to UWILINC to do some more search. Any more questions?
Not yet. Not yet.
Alright. So anybody want to start something specific for them? You have mind map. You have mind maps that you can use. And that's one of the databases. It's a foundation, provide foundation for your research. It gives you options that you would not have thought about. So what you can do on the library's webpage, go to the database. I don't know how many of you have participated before. Go to the database, click on database. And let's go back to the main page. So here you have database. Click on database. It gives you an A to Z listing. And I'm going to look for reader reference. It has a mind map, which is a very important feature. It's a little slow. I'm supposed to get the A to Z listing coming up. And I'm gonna click on C and locate reader reference. It provides you with foundational information. In collection that is slow. I don't want to close it. Taking some time to come up. What concept then the steps to is the lasers. Alright, so let me close and then probably try it. So I would have clicked on databases and these are data then listing and you select C for reader reference. You don't have to sign in, but once you have signed in already, you won't have to sign in again. Alright, you click on C and to the list for reader reference. That's a database that provides you with a lot of information and you can use it to advance your research. Advanced research here, I'll try the database again, but let's try advanced search. So what we do here is basic search. So let's try advanced search. Advanced search, you can use your Boolean operators. Are you familiar with the Boolean operators, the and, the or, and the not? And what they imply? So the and will expand your search, so you can add terms together. Alright. Alright, so let's say I'm out of time. So yeah, the and Boolean operator which expand your search. The not, where you can omit a specific search, and the or, so it's either or. Alright, so you use those terms, Boolean operators between your search term. Alright, so what you can do, I'm situated in the Science and Engineering branch library. If you have any problems, any issues, you can contact me, or you can send an email to reference.uwimona.edu.jpen, and we'll answer your reference queries. Alright, thank you very much.
Thank you, Tyrell. Thank you so much, Ms. Tyrell. Mrs. Tyrell. That presentation was very, very informative. Yes, and I'm sure, the students would have benefited much. So now that you've seen how to access materials you need, let's talk about what to actually do with them, right? And so good resources mean nothing without the right strategies